Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition? Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die.
Welcome to your Thursday night talks.
You're right. All yours.
All yours.
All yours.
Ours.
What do you do when it's yours, sister?
Listen, right off the bat.
Right off the bat, you don't want to get away from liking and sharing this one. Sharing especially.
That's right.
Listen.
Copy and paste the URL. Share it with everyone in your phone list.
And first of all, I want to start off, Brother Tony, just by thanking the sponsors on the show, people who have gave throughout the course of the time that we've been on live, just allowing this screaming to go on for the past 5 years. I just want to salute you all and just thank you for all your support. Without you, I mean, we would just be. We would just be. So I want to thank you all, and please support again if you can, and definitely subscribe, like, and share, because this is going to be an awesome show. And again, I don't want to belabor the point. I want to first start off in the most holy name of Allah, always bear witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all in the greeting words of peace in the beautiful Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum. And for those of you who do not know what those beautiful words mean, it just means simply peace be unto you. And again, this is this show is impact right now. So again, enough with the small talk. I'm going to turn it over to Brother Tony, and he's going to carry us.
Well, we have a beautiful program tonight, Sister Khalila. Let me begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, the one God, whom holy praises all forever due, the Lord of the worlds, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the Supreme Being, to whom holy praises all forever due. I am forever thankful to Almighty God Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I thank them both for the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Welcome to Thursday Night Talks, spearheaded by the 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives. The 7th Region Coalition to Help Save Lives was assembled by our student regional minister, Student Minister Patrick Muhammad.
That's right.
5 years ago, Sister Khalila. Soon after the criterion message of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And we were put on a course to save lives, warning our people about a dangerous inoculation passed off as a vaccine. and it was really experimental. And many of our people who have taken it have experienced ailments. Some have told me straight up, I haven't been the same. And so, inshallah, God willing, we will have a program very soon in regards to health, how we could still guide our people to become more health conscious and make the right choices. But tonight's program, why do scholars avoid the Nation of Islam's?
My God.
Tonight's program, the ministry we're focusing on, Sister Kalila, as we are focusing on the 9 ministries by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that he guided us to in the midst of the 2005 Millions More movement. And so these are all ministries that are all oriented towards saving lives, because through them we find our purpose in life. Through them we discover our gifts and talents, and we exercise those gifts and talents. The ministry that we're focusing on here tonight is the ministry of spiritual development, because on the very topic that we're focusing on here tonight, we need to view that topic through spiritual eyes. And so this ministry is outlined as follows. This ministry bears responsibility for assisting the individual member of the community in the process of heeding truth and right guidance, respect, honor, and obedience to the authority of the Creator in all aspects of life are essential to peace, harmony, freedom, justice, and equality. In the words of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, self-development is an absolutely essential component of the microcosm of the new world. It is not enough that we grow horizontally, through the acquisition of farms, factories, banks, industry, trade, commerce, money, good homes. Horizontal growth alone is death. All dead things are on a horizontal level. Therefore, we must grow vertically, grow in uprightness, or we will be overcome by our horizontal growth. The foundation of this ministry are study and training units trained on the guidance of Allah God to produce self-examination, self-analysis, self-correction, and to quicken in each of us the self-accusing spirit. For it is only when we are awakened morally that we have to face the self-accusing spirit that leads to our resurrection. So with that, beloved family, I turn it over to Brother Mark, who will be introducing our guest tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brother Tony. Tonight's guest, oh my God, I'm very excited, is none other than Ilya Rashad Muhammad, who is a public educator, author, and student minister in the Nation of Islam, where he serves on the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's research team. He was born and reared in Memphis, Tennessee, where his mother, Mary Cross, stage name Wendy Renee, was a songwriter and artist with Stax Records, who married Stax sound engineer James E. Cross Jr. Together, they had 5 sons and 1 daughter, Ilya Rashad being the 4th born son. Now known as an educational revolutionary, Ilya Rashad graduated from the University of Memphis, where he majored in English, and he later completed his master's degree in education at Union University in Jackson, Tennessee, where his capstone project unveiled racism in education. In theological and academic arenas, he is both lauded and feared for elucidating heavily misunderstood subject matters to the forefront of public discourse. He has also authored several highly acclaimed books, including UFOs and the Nation of Islam, the source, proof, and Reality of the Wills. That was in 2013. And Exposing the War Against Islam. That was published in 2017. His publications and presentations continue to challenge and confound world scholars regarding these global issues. More recently, Ilya Rashad has produced the film documentary series titled Answered, which further answers what other researchers and historians avoid regarding the global phenomena of unidentified flying objects, now being referred to as unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAP. Aside from his professional accomplishments, Ilya Rashad Muhammad is a loving husband to his wife and a caring father to their children. As a family, they are actively involved in urban agriculture, developing over 2 combined acres of urban gardens, orchards, and vineyards throughout the Memphis area. As a companion to these endeavors, he is an avid beekeeper who instructs online courses on beekeeping and sustainable living. Let us welcome to Thursday Night Talks our dear brother and friend, brother student minister Ilya Rashad Muhammad. Let's bring our dear brother.
Here's our brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Hey, thank you all. What a wonderful introduction.
Hey,
glad to be back. Glad to be back.
Welcome back.
The name of your documentary is Answered. So we're looking for some answers tonight, beloved.
That's it.
Brother Elliot, have you ever thought in a million years you say, hey, we're coming to a theater near you?
Actually, yes.
Okay,
all right.
You know,
God.
as a young child, I'm one of those children from the 80s that was kind of raised on TV.
Right.
Yes, sir.
And, I was so fascinated with TV shows and movies that I could in some way see myself being involved in some type of productions that would ultimately impact the world. So I think that I'm on the right road as helpers of the Messiah, as helpers of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, and using the wisdom of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and putting it through a cinematic type of format. I think we kind of on our way to doing that in theaters near you.
Theaters near you. Listen. This thing has gotten big. It's listen. This thing is international now, and I just want to just kind of dive right into why did you decide on these monumental documents? I know that they were definitely needed, but why did you decide and say, "Hey, I got to do this"?
We already, as students in the Nation of Islam, we are already in a position where the truth that we have is needed really for the world, especially our people. But we're in a position where our program and the truth that we have has been the most attacked and targeted and censored and lied on. So we're in it seems like a disadvantaged type of position, but it is because of this that we had to find ways to get this magnificent truth out to the people outside of just the normal, say, mosque meetings on Sundays, because we know that the masses of our people, as of right now, aren't just going to accept truth and come to the mosque and listen. So we have to take this truth out. And we realize that through audio, visual format, that we can give people the opportunity to see and hear the wisdom and truth. And we put it in a way where it's it's pretty much impossible to try to deny it. You know what I mean? So that's some of the motivation behind why we started developing these documentary productions that highlight the profound teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the guidance and wisdom of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan.
Praises be to Allah. Thank you so very much.
Praise be
Brother
to Allah.
Ilya Rashad, as you know, we're the 7th Region Coalition to help save lives.
Yes.
So I think it's essential that we answer the question, how, for anyone that is asking the question, how does the topic of UFOs or UAPs, or whatever the enemy wants to call it, have to do with saving lives? How would you answer that question?
I would answer it like this. The whole world, especially our people, realize that this world is governed and run and operated by some very wicked satanic forces.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to be a genius to see that nowadays.
Right.
You know,
In the open.
for decades, the Nation of Islam caught a lot of flack because we were some of the few who were bold enough to call out this Satan of the world.
That's right.
Before it became popular to do so.
Right.
But now that we see the operations of this wicked enemy all over the world, it's the same oppressive force that we see overseas that has been the same oppressive force behind our enslavement, behind our the discrimination against our people. And it's pretty obvious now that world industries and politics and media are heavily influenced, if not outright ran, by these satanic people.
That's right.
So if we don't have some type of power to combat these oppressors, then I say all the time, we might as well give it up. And this is why this topic is so important, what they call UFOs, but we know as these wheels that the Nation of Islam introduced to the world in the 30s. These are the instruments of God as foretold in the prophetic scriptures that are actually weapons to help execute this heavily told judgment that the world of religion is expecting to take place. That judgment is now, and these wheels, or UFOs as they call them, are proof of his superior military power that does have the capability and power to overcome our oppressors. So not only is this just some important information to know, but in truth, we could argue that it is the most important topic that we should be discussing right about now, because this topic involves and heavily impacts the world of religion, the world of politics, the world of economics and finance, the world of education, the world of science and technology, the world of military and political governance. That's why these powers all over the world have placed this topic at the highest echelon of their national security.
Right.
And that's why it's been above top secret. So yeah, this is extremely important and relevant, especially for us black folk.
Brother Ilya Rashad, there have been people that wanted to talk about this in the U.S. government that lost their lives, beloved, while they've been doing everything they could for decades to censor people and get people not to talk about this, spending millions, if not billions of dollars on that, beloved. And so, yes, this is an extremely important topic.
It's so important that the American people's taxpayer dollars, countless billions, have been used and are still being used not only to try to counter and potentially fight this superior power that's in the world, but billions of these taxpayer dollars have been used to keep the truth about it away from the people. Because, and this is why I wish somebody would try to challenge us on it. We've been trying for 13 something years now, y'all. We've been making the boldest claims on the planet that God has come in person.
Right.
That affects the whole world of religion.
Right.
That we introduced and know exactly what this UFO phenomena is, that has world powers and militaries all up in arms, but nobody challenges us on it. And we say we can bring proof.
Right.
There's a paper trail to corroborate what we're saying. But you mean to tell me, with all of our enemies and critics and skeptics and outright satanic enemies that have power over world governments and media, you mean that nobody wants to challenge us on this? None of the scholars, none of the academics? Something must be up. Somebody's right and somebody's wrong. And we're more than happy to show and prove who's right and who's wrong, if they would dare challenge us.
Come on.
I love being on the winning side. It's just I love being on the winning side.
Praise be to Allah. Dear brother Ilya Rashad, sir, UAP stands for Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena. It was previously known as Unidentified Area Phenomena, but the original term was UFO, Unidentified Flying Object. In your opinion, based on your study in this area, I don't know if you have an answer for this, but is there any significance to the progression of these name changes, or is it just to confuse people like me?
Well, it's a lot of that. All of it is to deter people away from the source, which is the Nation of Islam. See, before the term UFO or unidentified flying object became a thing, the Nation of Islam was already telling the world about these wheel-shaped crafts that fly at phenomenal speeds and have the power over all the military powers of this world. These are the tools of God who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad. Now, these are very bold claims, such bold claims that the authorities categorize the Nation of Islam as a voodoo cult and as ignorant followers in the early 30s, because we were talking about this exact phenomena before there were any mass sightings, before there were any governmental concerns, before there was any widespread investigations and military concerns about this phenomena. So before all the evidence was here, the Nation of Islam had been mocked and ridiculed for several decades. So now, to keep from allowing people the opportunity to look at this thing objectively and study the Nation of Islam and what we've actually been saying and showing and proving about this phenomena, instead of that, they'll conveniently change names every few years or so. There'll be flying saucers for this period of time. Then there are UFOs for this period of time. Then there are some spaceships during this time. Now they're UAP. Then the UAP stands for Unidentified Aerial Phenomena. Now it's Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena. So give it another year or two, they'll come up with something else.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they'll do anything. What they won't do is bring up the Nation of Islam. What they won't do is bring up the source of this phenomena and show you how this has been at the top priority of U.S. government, as shown even in their FBI files. even in their declassified FBI files, we see where this has been a primary concern of the U.S. government. And by this, I'm referring to UFOs and their relationship with the Nation of Islam, or as we call them, these wheels.
Yes,
Sister
sir.
Kalila, with your permission, if I could ask a question just in relation to what Brother Elia Rashad just mentioned, because Dr. Wesley Muhammad, I believe about a week and a half ago, he was, I believe it was on July 4th. It was on July 4th. He came out and was talking about the where the ufology community begins their study of quote unquote UFOs. And they always begin with Roswell, but they don't want to discuss what a major event that took place several years prior to Roswell, which was the Battle of Los Angeles. Why is it that they don't want to talk about the Battle of Los Angeles?
Yes, yes. And we highlight this in our book, UFOs and the Nation of Islam.
Right.
We showcase it, and we certainly highlight it in our documentary series, especially this latest one, Answered Part 3, subtitled The Battle in the Sky. In this particular documentary, we showcase heavily and quite thoroughly, actually, why they leave out the history of what's known as the Battle of Los Angeles, where some of these wheels, UFOs, were encountered by the U.S. military in 1942.
Yes,
and
sir.
how after that encounter, U.S. investigations led to the only people who are on record for talking about those circular planes, which led to the arrest of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and several other members of the Nation of Islam. This is actually the beginning of the UFO cover-up. This is before Roswell. This is before Kenneth Arnold, who many credit with being the progenitors of the modern day UFO phenomena, you know, Roswell and Kenneth Arnold's sightings, both of which took place in 1947. But you'll notice that scholars and historians and UFO researchers conveniently overlook the previous history concerning the Battle of Los Angeles and the aftermath, because if any objective or even a casual researcher undergoes a study objectively now of this particular episode in history, it becomes very easy to see how this phenomena is inherently tied to the Nation of Islam. Because when they arrested the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the FBI, you see, this is not just some little Chicago or Detroit police. No, this is not some local authorities. This comes from the highest echelon of the federal government. This is the Federal Bureau of Investigation under the administration of President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Yes, sir.
Who had the Honorable Elijah Muhammad arrested. And not only was he arrested to keep from teaching this truth to the public, but when the FBI arrested him, some of their primary questions involved the reality of this wheel and his connection to them.
Wow.
Now, check this out. This is why one of the many reasons why your scholars and historians won't take up this subject matter with us, because this goes beyond the realm of some religious belief. Now you're dealing with government documents. Now you're dealing with historical data that's shown even in the declassified files, declassified FBI files.
Yes, sir.
So we don't even know what's in the classified files, but even in the declassified files that my 6-year-old niece or nephew has access to,
right.
They can see that it was a top concern that the Nation of Islam's and Elijah Muhammad's teaching about this wheel has been and is a top concern of the U.S. government.
Yes,
But
sir.
you don't hear any of these so-called scholars or UFO researchers hypocritically talking about their concerns for disclosure, but they won't even deal with the actual history and the facts and the declassified government documents that show you the source of this phenomena. You see?
Right.
So it is because of these very rational, logical, practical proofs that your scholars seem to be intimidated to engage in this kind of discussion with us, because when the Nation of Islam talks to the world about this God who came in person, who brought this heavenly aircraft, we're not talking about something that's limited to our imagination or limited to some scriptures somewhere. We're not talking about something that we just believe in.
Right.
Instead, we're talking about a truth that is so profound that even if you dismissed all the scriptures and all the religious mumbo jumbo, the actual historical and empirical evidence proves that Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan are right and exact. See, that's why the scholars don't want to deal with it. And it's certainly why the religious folks don't want to deal with it, because religious folks and scholars, they are pretty comfortable relying on their interpretations alone. Because as long as you keep the subject within the realm of religiosity,
Right.
then you don't have to include practical information and empirical data. So you're just dealing with people's interpretations primarily. You're dealing with abstract kind of knowledge. But when you deal with the Nation of Islam, this is what God described as the mathematical theology.
Yes, sir.
Meaning,
talk about
and
mathematics,
suggesting-
Brother Ilya Rashad.
Oh, come on now.
The date of the Battle of Los Angeles is significant itself, right before Savior's Day, the birth of our Savior, Master Father Muhammad, February 1942. I believe it was the Battle of Los Angeles was on the 24th and 25th of February that year.
Yep.
Yes,
Wow. You know, I want to just highlight a word, answer. I want to define that in the dictionary. It says a thing said, written, or done to deal with or as reaction to a question, statement, or situation. This beautiful documentary is called The Answer. And as you mentioned, that you have the answers, but what are the questions
Yes.
that has identified you to create this beautiful documentary called The Answer?
Yes. Those questions are the same questions that the public, that governments and militaries continue to ask to this day. In fact, since the last 2 or 3 years that the government has finally acknowledged the reality of these planes, now they are openly asking these questions to show their concern. Some of those questions involved, what are they? Where are they from? What are their intents? And what are their purposes? In other words, why are they here?
Right.
Come on.
All of those questions and more were already answered before the public even had questions about them. I'm going to say that again.
Yeah.
The questions that the public and so-called UFO researchers and Pentagon officials have publicly posed concerning these UFOs What are they? Where are they from?
Right.
What are their intents and purposes? Why are they here? How do they demonstrate the capabilities and maneuverabilities that they've been able to do? How do they shut down the most sophisticated government and military weapon sites, nuclear bases, communication systems? They've reported that these wheels, it's as though they are meddling with them.
Right.
Because of the technology that they've displayed by being able to literally meddle or manipulate and shut down certain military systems, rendering them totally inoperable, just to show that they are more superior than anything they can think of.
Right.
So the questions are still out there, but the most arrogant and stupid, I have to say it, thing that we can do is pretend to ask these questions and then do everything within your power to ignore those with the answers.
Come on.
This is what this is the dilemma that the Nation of Islam has been in for over 90 years. Let me mention, the Nation of Islam has been teaching the very same thing about these crafts for over 90 years.
Think about it. Think about it.
We were mocked about it for so long, for so many decades, that now that the evidence proves that the nation is true, now we can't even pay our critics to engage us in dialogue or intelligent discourse concerning this phenomena. And it is because this is clearly part of what is described as a conspiracy of silence.
Wow.
A conspiracy of silence, for those who may not know that terminology. Heck, I just learned what it was a couple of years ago myself. But a conspiracy of silence is when a group of people collectively agree that they will not discuss or publicly mention a certain topic or event. And that is exactly what's taking place when it comes to UFOs and the Nation of Islam.
Exactly.
We are really in a pickle that the world of religion, the world of academia and education, the world of political science, everybody is curious and intrigued by the subject matter.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But for some strange reason, they won't have those discussions with us. And we can tell you why. In fact, I was on, I think, Twitter or X, and they have their AI tool, Grok. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, sir.
And out of nowhere, this was like maybe 2 days or so ago, I was just wondering, because, over the years, I've been reaching out to these historians and researchers and officials to, try to engage in public discourse about this topic. And it seems as though 99% of my attempts go ignored, as if I was some spam type of. Now, I could see if I was some troll or some bot or some spam, but I'm one of the students and representatives of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's research staff.
Right.
I mean, I'm not coming with some lightweight,
Right.
I come with a little juice now.
Right.
I come in the name of Farrakhan.
Come on.
Don't try to ignore that now. So I noticed how they've been ignored. So the other day I asked AI, why does it seem like scholars and historians are afraid to engage Ilya Rashad on the subject of UFOs and the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And, you know, AI being AI, they came up with some stuff. Some of it was kind of, you know, it was kind of
far-fetched,
off track, but
right,
it was some good stuff.
right.
They were putting forth one of the things, which is really just an excuse, that they said that one of the reasons the scholars may be apprehensive to engage us in public discourse. One was that it is because of the controversial nature of the NOI theology. So, I mean, it's really an excuse. So, in other words, because the Nation of Islam's theology is considered controversial, maybe scholars are a bit apprehensive to engage them.
Right.
You know, which really goes against the whole concept of scholarship. Right. Scholarship, you're supposed to be rigorous. You're supposed to be critical. You're supposed to engage and have those difficult discussions.
Especially, you know, if you can stand on it.
That's right.
Thank you. That's the whole purpose of scholarship. If the topic and subject matter is considered controversial, well, this is where we should apply our critical thinking skills. This is where we should apply our research. This is where we should question why it's considered controversial and look at the verity of whether or not there's any merit in what the Nation of Islam claims. So that was one of the things they mentioned, which is really an excuse. The other one, they said, because of academic skepticism of UFO claims. Because the UFO topic has not been a mainstream part of academic studies. In other words, you don't find too many colleges where you can major in, say, UFO studies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So because there is little research on it, they're saying that, okay, that's probably a reason why scholars are, again, apprehensive to engage the nation, because of academic skepticism of UFO claims. But again, we argue it's not too academic if you're not going to be skeptical and critical of the claims that we make.
Right.
So really, AI is showing us why the scholars are not as scholarly as they proclaim. There's more. I'm just giving you the headlines. Another reason, they said that it is because of a perceived lack of scholarly rigor involved in the claims that we make, which is really subjective to even make such a statement. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they refuse to engage us in a scholarly way because they assume that our claims are not based in scholarly rigor. So again, everything that's been put forth is really an excuse. And poor excuses at that, mind you.
Yeah.
But they are excuses to find any reason whatsoever to keep from having an intelligent dialogue with us on the subject of UFOs and the Nation of Islam. There's more, but I won't go into all of it right now.
This is very interesting. We just got a notification that Facebook is having an issue.
It's always
streaming this program tonight. Everybody, if you're having issues on Facebook watching this, go to YouTube and let everybody know. We're on there. We're not surprised.
Listen, listen, when I say every time, I kid you not. And the key word is, Brother Tony, keep in mind, we are screaming on 4 different platforms, including my personal platform.
Right.
My personal platform is getting flagged. Not the actual nation, not the actual Seventh Region Coalition. That one is still up. So whoever is tuning into that
getting
one,
flagged for
I am getting flagged
for directly
Well,
streaming.
I think we in the Nation of Islam know about that perhaps more than anybody.
Right.
Now, I don't think I told you all, Brother Tony. Did you all know that my book, Exposing the War Against Islam, recently got banned from Amazon?
Yes, sir.
Out of the blue.
Wow.
Out of the blue.
Out of the
Yes,
blue.
sir.
They banned my book. They sent me really a kind of a nasty email, and we know who's behind it.
Right.
It's the same groups that are behind the deplatforming of us on all those major platforms, be it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, formerly Twitter, Vimeo. I've had pages and accounts deleted from all of those platforms, and those that haven't been deleted have been significantly censored and shadow banned.
Wow.
And now it's a point where our books of historical research, just like The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, volumes 1 through 3, our research books, Jews Selling Blacks, banned since 2019. And now my book, Exposing the War Against Islam, since February, they came out of the blue and just banned it or had it banned, and gave the sorriest reason behind it. They said that somewhere in this book of historical research, with hundreds of references and citations, mind you, they said that it contains offensive content.
Wow.
And so
I've read your book, brother. I don't
yeah. So when we made an appeal and was corresponding with those in that department at Amazon, I kindly asked if they could show me one line, one sentence, one example from anywhere in the book that contains what you call offensive content to help me so that I won't make that mistake in the future. And so no one else would make that mistake. Do you think that they were able to show anything?
Absolutely not.
Hell no.
I'm surprised. Did they even return your question?
But
I'm surprised that they even exchanged 2 or 3 emails with me.
Oh.
You know, so they had temporarily banned my entire Amazon account. But after that, they allowed me to keep my publisher account, and I still have UFOs and the Nation of Islam available for now.
Right.
I will not be surprised if or when they ban that as well. So this is nothing new to those of us in the Nation of Islam. I make the statement, and it's really backed by evidence, that you won't find a group who has been more censored, who has been the subject of governmental and mass media disinformation campaigns. You won't find anyone who suffered along those lines more so than the Nation of Islam. And despite all of that, we still here with the trumpet of truth.
Come on.
So we ain't scared now.
And
keeping on.
Hey, by the way, I'm back up. So boo. All right.
That's right. Fight the good fight, Sister Kalila.
That's right. I'm fighting back here.
Brother Elia Rashad, I, of course, like yourself, I was in academic circles some decades ago. And one repeated thing that does happen is, so quote unquote scholars. You're not a scholar if you do this. If you're putting in your footnotes, referencing a particular book or something, or some type of source, making a particular argument, then you go check the source, it has nothing to do with the argument. That's something rampant and repeated in academia. Yeah. But I'm gonna reference right now what appears to be a difference, making the difference in that world of scholarship when it comes down to ufology. And I'm referring to this book right here, Children of Ezekiel. where the Nation of Islam is mentioned. And so in this book, Professor Leave commented, he made this comment to the Final Call newspaper on October 16th, 2003. He mentioned something that he mentions in the book. He says that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan represent the capstone to the study of the prophecy of the wheel of the wheel Ezekiel saw, the study of the wheels. How important is this acknowledgement by Professor Lee?
Oh, that's very significant. And I have to say, before addressing that particular statement, I have to say something about the now late Professor Michael Lieb. He is one of the most respected scholars in terms of dealing with the UFO phenomena in its modern context as it relates to religion. So other academics respect him and his work as a white Jewish scholar.
Right.
But he's also significant because he actually gave the first review of my book, UFOs and the Nation of Islam.
Wow.
Look at that.
Professor Lieb was so enamored by our research that he wrote, and I have it, and I'll publish the entire review one day. I published parts of it before, but he basically said he lauded me on my research. He was telling me how intrigued he was by the insights that we provided and how he had wished that I had published our book before he published his, because we had key research in our book that would have made everything that he was studying make all the sense in the world.
Wow.
So here's a Jewish academic, respected scholar, respectfully bowing down to the research that we've provided on the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Farrakhan concerning this wheel. So this is why Professor Lee can say that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Minister Farrakhan represent the capstone to this study of the wheel or UFOs. And the capstone, as it relates to academics, is like the thesis. It is the central part of a study, of a body of work.
Yes, sir.
So he, as a Jewish professor, recognizes that when it comes to the UFO phenomena, you cannot deal with this topic without recognizing the capstone, which is the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So I have much respect for the late Professor Michael Lee for his willing to acknowledge publicly the connection and what he was doing. And even in his books and in his writings, it seems as though he was attempting to warn his brethren of the impending reality that what Minister Farrakhan is saying and representing is not something that we should overlook. It's not something that we should dismiss and use these crazy labels of anti-Semitism as an excuse to keep from ignoring the clear warnings that he is providing. And Professor Lee, in his review that he shared with me, that he wrote, he mentioned that in so many words. He said that his people should just bury the hatchet when it comes to Minister Farrakhan, because he recognizes the reality, not idea, not concept, not philosophy, not intuition. He represents it and recognizes the reality of this wheel and these wheels that the Nation of Islam represent. And he was trying to warn his fellow brethren.
You know, I want a clear word, Brother Elliot. Capstone, a stone fixed on top of something, particularly a wall. So we're fixing the mistakes of this world with the answer.
Mm. You said it, sis. what a beautiful way to put it. You know, it's like the missing piece of the pyramid. You got the pyramid going all the way up here, but you have that missing capstone.
The incomplete.
But once you put the missing capstone on, it's complete.
Right.
And makes everything come to light. That's why that term capstone is also used in the world of academia to refer to the thesis of a work, the central idea, the main point of what all your studies should lead to. So when you talk about UFOs and UAP and talk about even the prophecies of God's judgment, all of those studies, when done objectively, will lead you to what the Nation of Islam has been telling you for over 90 years now.
My God.
The answer.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Sister Kalila, we titled our documentary series Answered, which is really the past participle.
Right.
Oh,
I've done that.
yeah.
Right. We're
Yeah.
coming back to you at a theater near you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Brother Ilya, man, when you, and I know your book goes into the various examples of the appearance of the will. When we look historically through time, we already talked about the so-called Battle of Los Angeles in 1942. You can look at recent times where the will has shown up. Oh, a little more recent, maybe in the 80s with Ronald Reagan, when he was waging war against Libya, and the will was present when they had some problems with their aircraft. And then, of course, the will's appearance after the minister gave the Criterion lecture, I believe it was, when he called for the wills, and they shown. Based on your studies, are there any subtle messages that are being sent to the world based on the timing of the appearance of wills at various times? Does it seem just haphazard, or was it a certain message subtly being sent, do you think?
Brother Mark, there are definitely messages, and they're really not that subtle. You know, those are outright signs. When we look at, for example, the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's great announcement in October of 1989 from Washington, D.C.,
Right.
Yes,
where he held a press conference.
Oh,
and in
yes,
this
sir.
press conference, amidst a heated controversy with the most powerful groups in the world, you're talking about the Synagogue of Satan, the powerful Jewish lobbies, the ADL, the JDL, the U.S. government, where the U.S. Senate had just censored and condemned him officially. The all-white, at that time, U.S. Senate, the most powerful legislative body in the world, had officially condemned and censored the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 84, 85-ish, based on a lie, trying to say that he was anti-Semitic because of his criticisms of Israel and his criticisms, truthful criticisms of the Jewish powers that then, like now, were still deceiving and manipulating our people and the American public. So he was condemned officially by the most powerful governing body in the world. This was during a time when white Western powers worked together, collaborated to ban Minister Farrakhan from entering the United Kingdom. So now you're not just dealing with domestic issues, you're dealing with international issues where the CIA is involved, where you have white Western governments collaborating against an unarmed black man. So I'm providing a historical context so that we can see the climate whereby the Honorable Minister Farrakhan made this world-renowned press conference
Right.
in the seat of world power, Washington, D.C., where at the end of that press conference, he concluded by warning the world that if they will wish to make mockery of him, which they are free to do, that they would see these wheels over the major cities of America. And lo and behold, it wasn't but really of some hours after the minister stepped down from that historic international press conference that those wheels were being sighted right there in Washington, D.C. and in the Baltimore area. And in the coming weeks, they were being seen all over different major cities throughout America. So this is not even subtle. What's subtle is the hypocrisy of the American media, who were doing everything in their power to condemn and lie on Minister Farrakhan during that time. But after he made those bold statements about how you would see these wheels over the major cities. So then when they did see the wheels that day and the next days right there in DC, where he was, they even ran it on the news, but they made sure that they did not mention anything about Minister Farrakhan's public warning about these wheels.
That's right.
That's the only part that's subtle, is the deceit and hypocrisy of the American government and the mass media. But no, it's not subtle. These are clear signs that Allah gives us to show and prove that his servant is real.
Brother Minister, Elia Rashad, your screen froze. Like you did the B-boy freeze.
What I might do, give me a second. I'm probably going to log off and get right back on. It'll probably take me less than a minute, hopefully. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
And while our brother is doing that, if you have not heard something that is telling you right now to go and get a friend, because this information
absolutely
will actually save their lives. People are sometimes thinking that they are delusional, Brother Tony, when they see things in the sky and they notice things that's very unusual, but they can't even phone a friend and say, hey, you know what, I saw something, without them, being so, oh man, you tripping, what you been on?
This is a time that we need questions answered.
That's right.
So whatever you do right now, go ahead and share this program with whoever you love, to share this information with, and give that confirmation to that person that what they're not tripping. When they saw something in the sky that resembles what the enemy called the UFO, they're not tripping. They actually saw what they think they saw. But here we have more information in regards to what they saw here tonight. And so, Sister Kalila.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I just, again, it's a beautiful thing to be a part of the winning team with the answers. Do you by any chance, and I know, first of all, I want to know, because this is series. And with the series, do we have to look at one before we look at two? Do you have to look at two before you look at three? It's kind of, or it's just information that, pencil, paper, you can look at three and then one, and all of it's just information. Is it tying into one versus the other in regards to your series?
Thank you for that question. Each of these documentaries can stand alone as its own movie. That's the good thing about how we were blessed to produce these films. Mm-hmm. We titled them, or we put them in a series, because we do allow the information to build off of one another. Mm-hmm. But again, you don't have to You don't have to watch the previous ones to get the one that's out now.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
but I strongly encourage anybody that has not seen any of them to definitely do so. Parts 1 and 2 are available for online streaming and download. You pay for it once, you can download it, you can stream it on your phone, on your computer, or if you want to make sure you can download it. You can visit nationbrothers.com, and if you click on the documentary, I think it's the picture of Answer 2, it'll take you to our Nation Brothers selfie store where you can you purchase it one time, watch it as much as you like. Definitely encourage you to do that. And of course, part 3 is just now coming in theaters, and we've already shown it at some private theaters. We held closed private screenings in different places. Here in Memphis, we had a wonderful screening in Wilmington, Delaware. So we have like these focus groups and screenings to see, okay, what y'all think. And I can let you know that this is definitely a winner. Okay.
Yeah.
It's such a winner that those in high places, when I say high places, yes, I'm talking about the Messiah, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who too has seen it and has shared with me his tremendous love for this project. He said that it won't do nothing but help the nation. And he expressed those same sentiments for the previous ones. So he has been perhaps the most encouraging behind this project. And we're so thankful for that. And we're certainly thankful for the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam, many of whom called me after they saw it and expressed pretty much the same sentiments. It is indeed a tool, and an effective tool for the true propagation and just having the truth to get out. Again, as I stated earlier, the Nation of Islam is in a position where you don't find where any other group has been in a position of having this much censorship and misinformation aimed at us for such a long, continuous time. You know, they started this in the 30s from the federal government, and they ain't let up yet.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, despite all of that, God, Allah, is blessing us to be able to produce these kind of works that are proving to be extremely beneficial and help already believe, confirming more so and inculcating the truth in those who already believe. But perhaps even bigger than that is the fact that this documentary series effectively convinces those who have yet to believe, because it takes away those arguments. And now, for many people, for the first time, they can actually see what the Nation of Islam represents. So before they go to a mosque, they can easily look at something on their phone or go to a theater and see the truth in HD 4K. It is an effective tool, and we can see this thing. This is just the beginning, and it's further proof that the scholars and critics, they won't even criticize. Look, we were blessed to visit over 20 cities with part 2 of God. Not one negative review. And this was visited and seen and witnessed by diverse audiences. This is not all Nation of Islam. We're talking about people of different ethnicities, a very diverse group. Young, old, white, black, educational levels. And we've not received, listen, I mean, you can go online. You would think that, okay, you can go online somewhere. Not one negative review.
Come on.
You see? So we know that we're on to something, and the enemy knows that we're on to something. So believing out what we have in these documentaries. So I am always encouraging you and the people to, when we come to your city, or without the previous episodes online at nationbrothers.com.
Praise be to Allah.
It's something I want to mention. I don't have to mention it now, but that's something I want to mention regarding these theater screenings before we get off. So remind me.
Yes, sir.
Please, yes.
Earlier, Rashad, we need to know so we can know how to support. But I want to pull up this book right here. It might make you cringe a little bit, maybe not. Make you know a book with the title "Chariot of the Black Gods." So, right here, this is very much I would consider to be like a propaganda type of situation, Brother Rashad, of what's happening right now, because for over a decade, the History Channel has revived and expanded on Eric von Daniken's concept of ancient astronaut aliens, or green aliens, theorizing that the origin of human civilization and its development began with alien beings. Why do you think the huge push for this theory is taking place now, specifically now? And why do you believe the Nation of Islam is never invited on such programming?
Well, these are things that we highlight quite thoroughly in our book, UFOs and the Nation of Islam, as well as in our documentary series, Answered. And we highlight the fact that part of the worldwide multi-agency, decades-long UFO cover-up has always been to hide the fact of the source of this phenomenon. And that source directly leads you to the Nation of Islam. There's a paper trail that, okay, so because when an objective study is done and people can see that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the minister have been right on it, now the fear and the threat in that force, everything this world is built upon. The truth that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad met God in person, who showed and proved to him the reality of these wheels that are now being seen and witnessed and described as UFOs. See, this shatters the entire world of religion. Because there's really no nice way to put it, but it shows that they're wrong. And I don't think anybody wants to admit that. You know what I mean? And even more interesting is that all the religions, all the major faith traditions in the scriptures and in the prophecies that we read, the Torah, Old Testament, the New Testament, Gospel, the Holy Quran, all of them point to a day and time when God would render judgment. He would make himself known, flying vessels. One, he's described in human form, with human form, an anthropomorphic man God throughout Bible and Holy Quran, if you read it. And he's also described as having some fly his presence. Oh my God. And see, while all the religions showcase this in their scriptures, none of the religions are able to answer or explain what that is.
Mumble.
And then you have the Nation of Islam with this little black man, Elijah Muhammad, who said that he met God and brought proof of the fulfillment of everything these religious folks have been talking and praying for, showing and proving. This is what it is in the real world. Ooh. Look, if I was the white man, I'd keep this above top secret too.
Of course.
But look, that's not limited to dismantling Ilton, which is white supremacy.
Right.
It's torn down by the truth of these wheels. Because this world, they believe that there's nothing more powerful than the white Western military powers of this world. You see?
Right.
They're the ones boast of their wickedly bombing and enacting genocide before the world and don't give a damn about what the world thinks. It's so arrogant. See, that's the way that it's been. So the truth that there's a power greater than that can and will easily defeat their militaries, the people in the public, they can't let you know that. Because if you knew, not believe, not think, not theorize, but if you knew of this, the reality of this power, you would think and act different. Hell, you would be like the Nation of Islam.
That's right.
Being here for over 90 years with everybody against us, still standing strong, telling the truth.
Regardless
that some people are still too afraid to accept.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Brother Ilya, that I posed to my own little Google AI, because I was going to ask you the question, but then I was going to ask you your response. My true question to you was regarding what has been, because, you know, when you run this world and you're trying to cover up the truth about what's behind UAPs, explain or to say that you don't know. So I asked my Google, you know, what explains UAPs? And the answer I got was the explanations for UAPs are diverse, ranging from mundane misidentifications to more speculative possibility reported sightings. Then it goes into some other things that have been tried, like airborne clutter, conventional aircraft, natural atmospheric phenomena, satellites, and then human perception of psychological factors. These don't have anything. I don't. What's your response to this, sir?
It's my response.
Right.
Yeah.
Earlier, Sean, I'm going to do better than that. I'm going to respond in Spanish.
Go ahead. Yeah. But yes, again, here we see the futility of the American leaders who pretend to be so concerned about UAP and what they are, their intent, disclosure, but those that can and have disclosed the truth, you don't want to pay us any mind. You would rather make up a theory that these crafts are from outer space somewhere, than to accept the plain truth that's already been proven and shared.
Wow.
See, it takes more effort. It takes far more cognitive effort to try to disbelieve and accept some fictitious aliens are responsible for these crafts than to accept the plain truth that human beings from this earth can make aircraft that fly in the sky. And look.
Beloved, you know what I have to say about that? Say not that you believe, say that you.
And I'm reminded of what Allah tells us in the Holy Quran. He says, and follow not that which you have known, not to be ignorant.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And Allah, he continues that, you know, our heart and our hearing, our mind, those things that he gave us, they will be called into question as to why we do what we do and why we believe what we believe. So he warns us not to follow that which we have no knowledge at all, because he gave us the ability to hear. He gave us the ability to sound decisions and make wise judgments. That's what Allah has given us, those abilities. And if we don't use those abilities, then we are not submitting to accepting spookism. And as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that those teachings about this God and some kind of mystery, the origin of that comes from the devil.
That's right. That's right.
Don't put that on Allah.
Come on.
Right.
Allah says, and follow not that which you have no knowledge. Don't follow stuff you don't know nothing about.
Right.
Come on, please. Come on.
And when we look at the world of religion, including the Islamic world, it is a world that has succumbed to spookism. And when we say spookism in the Nation of Islam, we're referring to this intense and emotional commitment to that which doesn't go in the Nation of Islam. We are taught that we waste no time searching for that which does not exist.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's for slaves.
Right.
And religion has made slaves of the people. Because you teach of a God that's a mystery, a God that don't make no sense whatsoever.
Come on, man.
This is why we thank Almighty God Allah for giving us the Quran, because now you have a God that has proven himself in the real world.
Come on.
And you can't disprove this God. This God brings mathematical evidence.
Come on.
See?
Come on.
This God is so powerful that he can take a fool like me before the scholars of the world, and the scholars are afraid to deal with a little student of Farrakhan.
Come on, man.
We know about real God now. We don't need your spook.
You can have it.
It's so funny. The beautiful words of our dear brother Life Jennings always says that they are very comfortable at the bottom and they like to stay there. Because anytime they excel its responsibility and accountability, that nobody wants to take accountability for. They don't want it. So they're whether to throw something against the wall and call it science, art, or I just want it just to be a mystery. It's just what it is. Instead of identifying the answer, you just put the question and just, hey, do whatever you want to with it, but this is the question, or this is the source of what you're going to quote. It's not even relevant to the question.
That's how they do it.
So that's why a lot of people so all over the place, and this is how religion was created, but that's a whole different philosophy. But
they'll do any and everything not to deal with the source. They won't deal with it.
That I have to change my ways. Dealing with the source means that I can't continue to live life the way that I have been.
See?
Dealing with the source means that right
confessing the fault.
The source means that Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan are right. And if that's the truth, and it is, then it would only make sense that I have to align myself with those persons that God has designated for my salvation, for my true freedom, justice, and equality. And as you said, Brother Tony, nobody wants to take things, Sister Kalila. You know, nobody wants to take that accountability. And this is why I have to give credit. We really have to give credit to those brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam. Because here you have brothers and sisters submitting and aligning themselves to the truth, even though that truth is totally unpopular and diametrically opposed to everything this world is built upon. And it's been that in a day and time like this, even since the 30s. That's why you have to take your hats off to those brothers and sisters, past and present, who have dedicated their lives to the truth that Almighty God Allah came for us.
Yes.
Brother Minister, I have a question just in the topic of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. And of course, I'm going to raise up this book. This is the difference, besides, of course, your book, but this is definitely different. When we're talking about Michael Lee and the children of Ezekiel. But when I was a student decades ago, beloved, most academic discuss it. They mainly drew emphasis on what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught in regards to the wheels. And then there were theories that he was influenced by the sci-fi community. But Brother Elia Rashad, here's one thing that they do not discuss. They say nothing in regards to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's more than a vision experience in Tepoztlan, Mexico on September 7th. Why do you think this is so?
The reason why most critics and leaders and scholars even don't bring up Minister Farrakhan's claims to have this connection to these wheels as demonstrated in his More Than a Vision experience, September of 1985. The reason is because everything in that experience of his has proven to be true, has proven to be observed in the real world. And because of that, it gives credence to the fact that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is not an ordinary man. Rather, he is act by the Lord of the worlds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is backing the Honorable Minister Farrakhan because he is the inheritor of the prophet's predictions. He is the inheritor of the experience that's been described of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, during his night journey, where he was supposed to have traveled from a flying vessel described as a winged steed called Al-Burak.
Yes, sir.
Well, this experience of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a proleptic experience, proleptic future. It is like prophetic in nature. And we find that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, through his experience and his public proclamation of his experience and the verification of his experience by real world evidence shows that he is the inheritor of what the prophets predicted, thus showing that the Honorable Minister Farrakhan fulfills what Prophet Muhammad spoke of in terms of that messianic line of characteristics that the Muslim world is waiting.
Sir.
My God.
Yes.
Okay, so can we talk about what we penciled in regards to the actual theaters? Can we discuss that?
Yeah, yes. So I noticed that like last year, for example, when we came out with Answered Part 2, it was like a roller coaster effect. We ended up traveling to open this documentary, and much of it was done with not a lot of planning. On average, the planning time from the time I got a phone call to the time I was flown out to the city to do a screening and do lectures, the average planning time on last year's tour for each one was about 3 weeks.
Wow.
And they were successful. Now, of course, with Phoenix, which was in terms of numbers certainly the most successful, where we sold out 3 theaters with over 600 attendees, and I think they planned that for like 8 weeks, and so that it's really started something, that we do have an enemy who is totally against this movie, this documentary Answered being shown. And I'm talking about the latest installment, Answer 3, The Battle in the Sky. So one of the things that we are doing is that we are having screenings in different cities. Some of them a Q&A, and I'll probably do the lecture on the Sunday and have some speaking engagements, and we're doing that. But for many cities, they have already caught on to the idea of a travel-less screening. And basically, any city that wants to have a screening of Answer 3, and we're suggesting 40th anniversary of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan's More Than a Vision experience, which took place September 17th, 1985. This year will be the 40th anniversary. Sometime around that time, maybe the Tuesday, September 16th, or Thursday, September 18th, or maybe even a week before, a week prior, many cities are
September the 11th.
Hello, Jacksonville. Come
on, Jacksonville.
Are opting to work with me, and they'll secure a movie theater around one of those days, and I will work with the movie theater and supply them what's called the DCP file of our movie. That's the format that movies are played in, in standard theaters. And we sell tickets. I have a box office that I use. We sell tickets through the box office to win, because those who already believe are further inculcated, further enlightened, further informed and confirmed of their belief. It's a win because those who don't believe, even skeptics, when they see it, they start to believe with this truth. Okay? So it's a win in that sense too. And it's a win in that the revenue generated from these ticket sales are the group that hosts this screening in their city, in the movie theater, is able to generate some revenue. So look, in a day and time like this, that's a win-win-win situation.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So it as the Honorable Minister Farrakhan told me in one of the last conversations I had with him a few weeks ago, when he was sharing with me how much he loved the movie, he said in words that it won't do nothing but help. You see?
Listen.
The ministry. It's a fishing tool. It's a propagation tool. It's a tool that impacts our cities for those who view it. So we're excited about it. And if there are those who want to hold a screening in your city, you don't have to worry about travel expenses. Just get with me. You can reach me through Nation Brothers. If you want to email, you can nationbrothers@nationbrothers.com. You can email us at that and let us know. You can impact your city.
Yes, sir.
We are actually holding a screening here in Jacksonville, Florida. Yes, you heard it. Yes, it's going to be on September the 19th. 11th.
Yep.
September the 11th. Yes, September the 11th. That's a perfect. September the 11th, right? And I encourage you to, you can inbox me at the 7th Region Coalition at gmail.com if you are actually, make it happen for you. But just let me know. I will give you the information that you need. You can get in contact with our local Maz. Hey, and just make a trip out of it. Hey, I'm going down to Jacksonville to see the answer part 3. And, bring your friends, listen, let me tell you something. You better get it quick. Because right now, already
something like that.
Already get their ticket. So I'm just letting you know that.
Speaking about that, at the national training,
yes,
Minister earlier, Rashad, do you have a screening there taking place?
Yes. Look, I'm so appreciative to the National Shura Executive Council.
Yes,
I'm so appreciative of our Supreme Captain and our Assistant Supreme Captain, Grand Master Abdul Aziz, formerly known as the national training is going to be off the chain in and of itself.
Right. We already discussed that last week.
And now we've incorporated the national debut of Answered during the national training weekend.
Right.
We're going to be showing Answered that Friday evening at Tinley Park Convention Center in the North Pavilion, Friday evening at 6. And of course, for tickets to the screening, visit us at nationbrothers.com. If you want to get specific, you can go to nationbrothers.com/calendar. And on that page, it has a list of all the different cities that are already planned. You can just click on the city debut in Chicagoland, as we call it, at Tinley Park. You can go there, but nationbrothers.com/calendar. We got Jacksonville on there, Sister Kalila. We got Oakland and the Bay Area on the screening on there. And there are more being added pretty much daily because I've got a lot of replies about that screening during the 40th anniversary. So I expect that, look, I won't be surprised if we have over 20 cities during 1 week alone holding screenings. But I think during the 40th anniversary, around that time of the More Than a Vision experience, I think it's significant.
There is a question here. Sister Kalila, your husband, had asked me. Assalamu alaikum, brother Ilya.
Big Sean. Yes, we can purchase a copy of Answered. As I mentioned earlier, we can, if you want to stream it, you can purchase it and stream it on your phone or computer, or you can download it. Or if you're the collector's type, you want a DVD, you can do that too.
Great.
Visit nationbrothers.com, or you can go to our selfie store. The selfie store, I forget it. It's nation-brothers.selfie.com, something like that. But just go to nationbrothers.com, and if you see the documentary, the image of Answer 2, click on that, and it'll take you to our store. The previous episodes of Answered, or you can stream it.
Yeah. The DVD.
Yes, sir.
That's available for people want that.
Matter of fact, that link, that selfie link with the store where you can purchase it, won't you post that on the chat on the different platforms?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay, this is so because
right.
Listen, I tried to pull this up, Brother Elliot, and something else totally came up and said donate now, and I'm like, no, that's the wrong one. Yeah, so this is it. This is
that's nationbrothers.com. If you wanted to go back up and get to the DVDs part, you can click you can go down right there. You can click for the picture Answered.
Yep. Available for online screen.
Online screening. T-shirts. We got merch. We got merch in the building.
Okay, it's not showing on your screen though.
You're gonna have to go to the stop sharing and probably go to the No, man.
The other.
Stop. Look. Stop sharing,
okay.
and then bring up the other.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Let's go. All right.
Look at this interaction going on here.
Yeah.
Right, here it is.
Okay, she got
show the people.
Yes, you got Answered 2, Answered 1. You got the DVD.
You got merch.
Trucker caps.
You're right.
What?
Yeah, the T-shirt.
Look, no, you
let everybody know that you have the answer.
Man,
come on.
That's right.
No, this
well,
is whenever you have screen. That's not just a screen. That's an event.
That's right.
Oh,
That's right.
No, that makes it official.
And I would encourage, especially those who are in the nation, if you're going to the national training, definitely get your tickets to the screening and check out the screening of Answered while you're there, because I am pretty certain that once you see Answered 3, the battle in the sky, during the national training that Friday, you are going to be calling me. You're going to be emailing me, because I know you're going to want to have it in your city.
Right.
You're going to watch the people got to see this. I'm already knowing that's how you're going to be. So check it out in Chicago now. Okay.
And if they want to do it more than once in their city, is that okay too?
Sure. Now, so far, we've had closed screenings in only 2 cities, in Memphis and Wilmington, Delaware. These are more like kind of private closed screenings. And we're going to do it in some of those cities again. I know we're doing it in Memphis again. And Delaware, they're talking about doing it again, because it's like, look, you want the people to see this.
Yes.
Like I stated earlier, it is a fishing tool. It is a means whereby we can broaden our our influence beyond the mosque and really broaden our influence in the cities, because when people see this ills, it gives them a much better understanding of what the Nation of Islam represents, you know, and they get to see that we're not just some religious fanatics or not just some Muslims that just want to do good. I mean, that's part of it now. We want to do good and we clean ourselves up. It's something much more significant that's bigger than all of us. And that has to do with the fact that God has come. And so when you take this most important information and it's put in a simplified yet cinematic format, it becomes all the more effective.
Makes it even
so we want to impact our cities with
this.
Yes, sir.
Praises be to Allah. Well, Brother Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you because, listen, this particular information, let me tell you something. The time period of less than 2 hours, I cannot rescreen this. I cannot rebroadcast this. So I ain't trying to rush nobody, but this is a collectible item. So I want to be able to rebroadcast this, y'all. So Brother Mark, come on, let's go. Because I don't want. This is the truth now. I just had to let my technical skills come in.
We're gonna make something happen now.
Well, I mean, dear Brother Rashad, you have any final words before we close out?
I see where somebody asked, where Brother Mark, somebody asked, do we have a picture of the book?
We
do.
We have one ready here on the screen, brother.
Okay, you do?
Okay, good.
All right.
There it is.
I wanted to make sure people know what the book looked like.
Yeah.
What's the best way to get that book?
We'll have it like this. That is still on Amazon. You can go straight to Amazon and type UFOs and the Nation of Islam. And we do have it available on Amazon. So for now, anyway, they haven't banned it yet like they banned our other ones. So get it while you can, right?
I will personally say that this is an excellent book.
Absolutely.
Everyone should have.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's game changing. If I may say so myself.
It is game changing, Brother Elia Rashad.
I tell people all the time that Compose literally has changed the game of UFO research, because now we're forcing them in the conversation because they are trying their best not to. And what it does by what we've been able to do with this, you can't say, they can't use the same excuses that they've continued to try to use. This is the excuses that scholars often give me or use to try not to engage me. They will just automatically assume that because we are part of what we're saying is not worthy of academic scrutiny.
Right.
Again, it's a very poor excuse, but I've actually ran into scholars, some scientists, some UFO researchers and academics who have shared their information pertaining to the UFO phenomena and its history, particularly in the modern world, and they give their theories and whatnot. And I've introduced myself and my research, but use excuses not to even look into it. Wow. This has happened on a few occasions now. I'm dealing with people who are supposed to be the critical thinkers, educators, and leaders in the world of scholarship, and they won't even engage us they'll put an excuse up there to say that the enemy, the enemy has always lied and said that we're anti-Semitic and said that the minister is anti-Semitic. They can never prove it now, but they'll use their own lie as an excuse not to engage us. You see, because they know that because they know that if there is intelligent discourse involved, then it makes it very clear for the people to see that the nation has been right all along. And the nation hasn't just been right about a type of truth that is not that significant. No, the nation has been right about the most important truths on the planet. The truth about the kingdom. You see? That's no lightweight subject matter that we can easily dismiss in the name of, well, you all are part of a religion and therefore I can't include you in an academic discussion.
Wow.
But Brother Elia Rashad, to include us in the discussion would prove their theories completely wrong.
That's it.
Praise be to Allah.
And go ahead, my brother.
Oh, go ahead and finish what you're saying, and then I was gonna.
No, go ahead, brother Mark. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna.
What I was going to say.
As time is slipping away.
Yes,
sir. But this is what I did want to say about our beloved brother. And like one thing that you don't mention, Brother Elia Rashad, because I've had personal conversations with you about you producing your book. That was an act of sacrifice. The hours, the months, I think the years of taking the time to compose that book. That was sacrifice. Sacrifice for the greater good.
Oh, yeah.
And now with these documentaries, that's time, beloved. That's a lot of time in the name of propagating the truth.
Yes.
salute, brother, salute.
Praises due to Allah.
And we thank Allah for you joining us today, dear brothers. And so I want to say to you, thank you on behalf of the 7th Region Coalition, Student Regional Minister Patrick Muhammad, all of us. And we want to say, as we close out.
Well, before we close out, Brother Mark, because we do need the support. There we go. You're all ready for me to believe it. Look, this is
absolutely
the streaming service that we use. They don't. I keep saying this. They don't look at the work that we're doing and saying, "Oh, you all are so nice. You're there about saving lives. You're so nice. You're so wonderful. We're gonna give you these streaming services for free." No, that ain't happening. We pay bills just like everybody else, and we do need your support.
we do.
You can put 5 on it. You can make any kind of donation that you would like. No donation is too little, and no donation is too much. Whatever donation you make, we are just going to put it to good use, saving the lives of our people. May Allah, God, continue to bless you all and your families.
And just to add to that, brother Tony, yesterday's prices is not today's prices. So 5 on it, we need 55 on it.
55 on it.
Said, yes, we can definitely close out.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Now you can close out, Brother Mark. Go ahead.
Good evening, and we want to say until next time, dear family, we will look forward to seeing you at the same time next week. Until then, we're not a group, we're not a clique, but we are the 7th Region